Hi, I'm Janine Friedman, and I'm with the Planview-Old Bethpage Chamber of Commerce. I am an executive coach, and my business is Choice Training and Coaching Solutions. I am recording this interview today with Springfest sponsor David Weinstein from Straightforward Media. Welcome, David, and thanks for joining me.
Thank you very much for inviting me.
You're welcome. David, how about we start with you telling us a little bit about yourself and your business?
Sure. Well, Straightforward Media, I started the company about 6.5 years ago. It is a full-service marketing agency that's located right here in Plainview. We work on all different types of marketing, content creation, website creation, and help all of our local clients as well as some national ones reach people that help bring them business, essentially.
Great. What would you say are some of the qualities that make you and your business successful?
We work directly with our clients, and it's in the name, but it really is who we are. We are straightforward with them. Some of our clients come to us with even budgets that they don't need to spend, and we just give them our best professional opinion, even if that means less of a statement of work for us to do, but it's better for them in the long run.
Okay. Focusing on what's right for them.
Yep.
Nice. And what would you say is one thing that distinguishes you from your competitors?
Those two questions kind of go hand in hand, in that, in marketing, there's a lot of stuff that's done where clients don't know what they're getting. We share all our reporting with our clients. We answer any questions for them, and we just kind of work with them as an extension of their company in many different roles. Even if it is a basic one where we're just doing social media, we really dig into the role and treat it as if it's our own business. So I think that was really what would be a separation. Kind of goes with the earlier question about the budget. When we either present a budget or they give us a budget, we do treat that media money as if it's our own. Like, would we spend money to advertise in this way? And that's really one thing I think that really separates us, is that we do kind of go that extra, those extra few steps in evaluating whatever we're presenting to a client, not just, oh, you should do X, Y, and Z. It's, do we think they should do this? And a lot of times it means, as I mentioned earlier, us telling somebody they shouldn't do something that they come to us. Well, 3 other people told us we should do this, and then we have to tell them this is why you shouldn't, or this is why you should. So kind of giving it to them directly, our opinion based on many years of experience.
All right. It sounds like you're a true partner, and you also put yourself in your client's shoes and think of how they would most want to spend their marketing dollars.
Yes.
All right.
That's what we do here.
All right. How have you and your business adapted to the challenges brought on by the COVID-19 pandemic?
Good question. So earlier on, we have some retail clients here on Long Island. So initially, when they shut down, we kind of, weathered the storm essentially with them. And it's almost 2 years now since then. We shifted a lot more to digital, which they were doing anyway. A lot of our clients were doing both digital as well as traditional radio, TV. Even though people were home more, we cut back budgets because budgets were cut. So it allowed us to kind of fast forward some of these clients more into digital targeted. So in the long run, it meant spending less money for them, but because it's more targeted, we were able to show better results through digital, where there was more of a hesitation for some of the clients before COVID. So that's really how it kind of, everybody's going on that path, not saying that radio and TV and other forms of media are going to disappear, but it kind of pushed forward a lot of things that already were there, like what we're doing now, Zoom. So similar thing, companies that they used it once in a while, similar to what we did with marketing. Like, we would do some digital once we cut budgets and say cut out a radio plan. They continued, or when they came back, they had less budget. So we were able to utilize that to do digital and then actually get them, in some ways, better but more targetable results.
Okay. Sounds like the pandemic kind of pushed them into the future, which is digital.
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay. All right. What made you select Planview-Old Bethpage as a location for your business?
Well, I'm from Planview-Old Bethpage. I grew up here, went through this high school, through the school system. I have two kids that one is in the Plainview Middle School, the other one's in the high school, same schools I went to. So for me, it was just, I grew up here. So I live in Plainview. And when I looked 3.5 years ago, when I was looking to move out of my basement, essentially, which is where I started my company, I looked no further than, finding a home in Plainview because, well, I am Plainview. So it was easy for me. And at that time, it was just me. And now I have, a couple of people that work for me full time. I have some part-time employees. And we all live very close. One of my full-time employees also lives in Plainview, has kids in the school district. So we're very vested in the community. Because we live here as well as work here.
Nice. Plainview born and bred. I'm a longtime Plainview resident as well. So I get the Plainview pride for sure. All right, David, are you ready to switch to some personal questions so the viewers can learn a little bit more about you?
Sure.
Okay. What other careers or jobs have you had?
I started out in ad sales before marketing, and before that, let's see, here in Plainview, in high school, I worked at Bagel Boss, and I actually went to college for TV and radio production. So I spent 4 years in school doing the production side of media, and then graduated and got a job in sales and then into marketing. So it's interesting now, like I mentioned, videos and, stuff that we do now, digital. A lot of that was what I went, back, when it was not digital, it was, making videos and making things that took a lot longer to do with, tape as opposed to, just editing on your iPhone. It's amazing. Editing a 30-second commercial would take 4 hours. Now it could be done in a couple of minutes, some of them. But so it's interesting for me to see all this video creation and stuff now, whereas the first 15, 20 years of my career, there were videos, TV commercials and stuff, but they were more grand scale. But to be able to create these things now, it's interesting because that's really what I kind of wanted to do to begin with. So it's nice to be able to do that now on a bigger scale because we're constantly creating content and videos like all the time for clients. So it's interesting.
All right, nice. It sounds like you've known since a young age what you wanted to be and what you wanted to do.
Yes, since it was 3/4 inch tape and, back when you had to just record from tape to tape, which was a lot more work than it is now.
You were willing to put the effort in and now it's paid off because things are a little bit easier. All right, good.
Yeah.
What would you say is the accomplishment that you're most proud of?
Professionally, I can't think of one, but the accomplishment really is that, for all the years that I worked prior to this company, a lot of the walls that I had to fight were either internal management for running a team of people or agencies that didn't have the client's best interest in heart. So I think my biggest accomplishment really is getting the nerve to go out on my own, because it's not like I opened this company and had 5 clients and, today we have, 12, 13, bunch of clients. So it was getting to that point of just believing in myself, was starting and saying, let me try and do this. And people around me telling me, why don't you get out on your own? And I'm like, well, it's easier said than done. And they're right. It was a lot of work, but I think it just was taking that first step back in March of 2015 and just being like, great, looking up a company name, which took a lot longer to find the most obvious name because, anybody who knows me, people have straightforward media, but, because it's who I am. I am the essence of the company and what we do, very direct. So that I think was the biggest, accomplishment was actually, getting started. And then building it now, hiring people and employing people. So, we're like a bigger, like a family. So I think that's really it. It's just moving, getting this thing off the ground. Almost 7 years ago. Actually, next month will be 7 years. It's crazy.
Wow.
Time flies.
Happy almost anniversary and congrats.
Yeah,
it sounds like you were really you were really value driven when you set out to go out on your own and start this business. And it's even reflected in not just what you do, but also in the name that you selected.
Yep,
Nice.
definitely.
All right. So here's a fun one. What's one thing most people don't know about you?
One thing that people don't know about me, I mean, like, I'll say, just in general, I'm a lot less, I don't know, the first thing that came to mind, and I'll just go with that, is that as confident as I am, I'm a lot less confident inside, but I think it's just of years of either professionally, whatever, I come across as just very confident, but the big thing is like confident, but the lines are, I always say, is you want to be confident, but you don't want to be cocky. So it's kind of like riding that line, but that comes easier as time goes on because you're more confident, but I'm definitely less confident. People think I'm the rock, which I am, the one that people can rely on, everything. And that's all true, but I don't want to say it's not a show, but I'm a little less confident than people think I am, which is okay. Because that keeps you in check. And like I said, it keeps you on the confident, but not too cocky side of the line.
That makes sense.
That was the first thing that came to mind. Right. So I'll keep it at that.
I like that one. Thanks for sharing that. Okay. So last question. And given that it's a cold and wintry February day while we're doing this recording, what was the most exotic place you've ever traveled to?
Well, I don't think Delray Beach, Florida considers that. So which is frequently visited. So I'll say probably the Grand Caymans. Nice. Actually, that was a trip that I took with my wife almost 2 years ago. We were there right before the world stopped. So, someday hopefully we'll be able to say Israel or something else. But for now, that would be it.
Okay, well, I'm glad you got that.
Exotic goes.
Well, I'm glad you got that nice trip to the Caymans right before everything happened. Yep. And I look forward to hearing about how the trip goes to Israel when things open back up.
Yep, definitely.
All right. Well, thanks, David. This was great. I appreciate your sharing and opening up with us. And we also want to thank you for your help in making this year's Spring Fest a success.
Well, it's my pleasure and looking forward to it. Thank you very much.
Thank you.